A year ago, South Korea vowed to step up its readiness for extreme weather driven by climate change. But in the past week alone, dozens of people have died as heavy rain hammered the country. And it's casting doubt on South Korea's preparedness, as the threat of more torrential downpours loom large. So, what has been done so far? Well, experts say not enough. Some believe that spending remains too focused on recovery, not prevention. Jong Chang-sam is an engineering professor at Induk University in Seoul, specializing in water resources. He says prevention is crucial to minimizing damage and lives lost, but it is often neglected because the benefits are not immediately obvious to politicians and those in government.
People like to use expressions such as rapid response, emergency recovery. It is wrong. Climate disasters are already underway. So now, if you put money into prevention projects, you can do it at half the cost of recovery projects.
It's not just flooding that's posing a risk. South Korea is mountainous, and urban development has left many regions vulnerable to landslides. That's while readiness to respond to extreme weather has not been up to speed. A 2020 study by the Korea Meteorological Administration found that property damage costs and casualties from extreme weather have tripled compared to the yearly average of the previous decade. The past week's victims include 20 killed or missing in the mountainous North Gyeongsang province, many from landslides. Jeong said authorities who were too slow to act on available information and who had not created a system to alert residents could be blamed for the casualties. On Monday, President Yoon Suk-yeol echoed a call he made last year, when flooding in August from the heaviest rain to hit Seoul in 115 years paralyzed commercial areas and inundated low-lying neighborhoods in the affluent Gangnam district. This type of extreme weather is going to become the norm, so we need to manage it as the norm, he said, adding that South Korea needs to get rid of the idea that we can't do anything about unusual circumstances. Officials have also promised to spend more on natural disaster prevention. The country committed about $1.6 billion in 2022, 20% more than what was spent the previous year, according to the Interior Ministry.
South Korea's president has blamed the response to floods across the country for the deaths of dozens of people. Yoon Suk-yeol said on Monday authorities had failed to follow rules as they dealt with torrential rains that have pummeled central and southern regions since Thursday. The deaths include a number of people killed in a submerged underpass near the city of Cheongu. That was finally cleared of water late on Sunday. Yoon on Monday convened an intra-agency meeting on disaster response and said the situation was made worse because of poor management of vulnerable areas.
We all need to take the situation as seriously as possible and mobilize all available resources. In particular, every effort must be made in the field to ensure that rescues are carried out quickly. Extreme weather events like this will always be around us. We need to tear down perceptions that these situations cannot be helped because they're unusual. We need to deal with them with an extraordinary determination.
Floodwaters have breached levees in a number of places, including near the city of Nonsan, where drone footage showed emergency workers responding on Sunday. The highest number of deaths, though, were reported at the flooded tunnel in Cheongu. People were seen outside the local hospital in the city crying on Sunday as a number of families waited for information about loved ones. While the response across the country is under review, the tunnel incident in particular has fueled questions over South Korea's efforts to prevent and respond to flood damage. Some drivers who use the road regularly blame the government for failing to ban access to the underpass, even though floods were widely forecast. This man said he felt he could have been caught in the underpass and called the authorities' response, quote, insufficient. Floods have claimed dozens of lives during recent rainy seasons as weather patterns have become more extreme. Only a year ago, the South Korean government vowed to take steps to better cope with climate change-induced disasters. Further emergency responses are expected to be needed. The Korea Meteorological Administration said the central and southern parts of the country could receive more than 11 inches of additional rain by Tuesday.